Hello and welcome to the Elegant Catholic. My name is Therese. I'm a medical assistant student in training, wrapping up my courses there, and then in the following year I'm going to be starting up my associates in midwifery. So welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be about how I'm preparing for marriage as a single woman. So here are some little helpful tips that I hope and that you can take in consideration to do with as you will. So let's get started on this little helpful tips video. How are you preparing for married life as a single woman? Here are some of the ways that I am preparing myself to be married. So I am drawn more so towards the married life, and these are some tips and tricks that I am doing that I'm going to be passing down to you guys on how to prepare for marriage. Because I feel like even as a single woman, we can do something, or even a single man, we can do something to prepare ourselves, since marriage is a big, thing. It's nothing just like, oh, playing house, nothing like that. It's it's a sacrament, and it's just more than, finding someone that you love and just like, playing house. It's more than that. So we need to prepare ourselves, and here are some tips that I have, that God helped me to do to, become a good wife once that time comes, hopefully. So the first way to do that is to strengthen your relationship with God. Now, this is the top one because we need to be closer with God, and because the closer we are to Him, the better of a person we become. So some of the ways we can strengthen a relationship with God besides prayer is going to daily mass if we're able to, but definitely weekly mass on Sundays. Going to the holy days of obligation. There are six of them in America. Look for the ones inside of your the country that you live in. Is all different. And then also going to holy hours if we are able to, and going to the adoration time. Because then once we're there in the presence of Jesus, we can contemplate and think more and pray to Him and ask Him, to become a better person and whatever else we need. So those are some simple ways to strengthen your relationship with God. If we are able to go on pilgrimages, like, to Europe or to somewhere in America or wherever you are from, go and do that too as well, because that can help be as build your relationship with God as well. Next one is learn a new skill. Learning a new skill can be different for each person. So some people, if you want to go and learn a new skill, as in such as sewing a dress or learning how to make a sourdough starter or gardening or whatnot, that is learning a new skill. So let's, you pick one and then try to stick to it. You can also have, a variety of ones. You don't have to just stick to one, and just learn it and, improve and get better at it. Or if you want to become more advanced in the learning a new skill, go and get actually a certificate or I'm becoming a medical. Go and get a certificate or a degree. So for myself, I got myself certified as a birth doula, but I'm also getting myself certified as a medical assistant, and then I'm going to be getting my associates in midwifery coming next year. I'll be starting that up. So those are like the ways that I'm doing it, and it also keeps you busy. So then, idle minds is a devil's workshop. So actually having to think something to do besides, working is, studying and learning something new, so which will still be helpful in the future. So pick out something that you are like wanting to learn and go ahead and go and do it. So comment down below what new skill you would want to learn. I would love to hear it. Next one are some books. So here are some books that I recommend. I've been finding these over the past few years, and these are some of the top 4 books I think every person should read. So starting off with The Catholic Girl's Guide by Father Assitant. I actually found this one at our local Goodwill. So this book has a lot of information. They have explain each faith and obedience and all that, but they do it based on with the flowers. So you have to build your flower crown, and you learn how to grow in these virtues more so. But it also goes more into that along with vocation. So they talk about the single life, the married life, the religious life, and then they explain each one. And the priest, Father Assitant here, does it so beautifully and easily to understand. And it also has prayers, so you can bring this perfectly to those little adoration things I was talking about. The perfect book, it has everything that you need, little spiritual reading along with some prayers to read. So the perfect book. They also have one for the men called The Young Man's Guide. So I definitely recommend every person should own this book. Well, all these books I think everybody should own too. And then the next one is called The Wife Desired by Reverend Leo J. Kinsella. Happiness does not happen and must be earned. Here is a marriage blueprint every woman can follow. So this book specifically is for women. They have one for men called The Man for Her. So that one is for the man of how to become a good man in a marriage. This one is for a woman, so a woman can learn how to become a good wife in the marriage. So I'll read the back of this book is about. So the role of the girl in life is the most glamorous and fascinating on all the world. Of no other creature so much demanded. She is to be the helpmate of man, the mother of his children. She is to keep his home, to comfort him in loneliness and weariness, and to bring him back to health when sick. This book deals with only the wife and her contribution to marriage. Generally, it deals in fundamentals, and especially so in the chapter of companionship. The natural and psychological aspects of the wife's part of marriage are stressed because the author is only too aware of many wives cognizant of the spiritual and sacramental character of their marriage, who fail to put good use the natural gifts of mind and body. This book will prove to be invaluable to high school students, college students, and all those young people who are contemplating marriage. Because of its clarity of thought and humanness of expression, example, Father Kinsella's book will be helpful to priests and laity. The perfect book, I say. I'm already reading it, and I have read like this much so far, and it's so good. I'm in the chapter of, let's see, what chapter am I in? If I can find it. But this priest was also one that helped with people who were like considering divorce. So he knows what he's doing. That was his main thing, was helping struggling marriages. So The Wife Desired has personality. That is the chapter I'm in right now, chapter 2. And it's really good and easy to understand, which I like. So definitely this one too. And I think you can get all these books that I'm mentioning here at Refuge of Sinners Publishing, or Mother of Our Saviour, as it's also known. You can get all these books there, and they're all pretty good priced. Next one is Helps to Purity, a frank yet reverent instruction on the intimate matters of personal life for adolescent girls, by Reverend Fulgence Meyer, OFM. So this is this book. A friend actually gifted this one to me, and I thought it was going to be talking about like modesty and purity, like, you know, the ones we're talking about with like clothing. But it gets more deeper than that, and I'll read it on the back of what this book will be about. I say this book should be read by 18 or older. You definitely need to be older for reading this book, and you will see why once I read the back. The longer and the more an adolescent girl virtuously ignores sex matters and keeps aloof from them in thought, word, and deed, the better she is off. But when, for reasons of her psychological development, environment, career, or other circumstances, she must acquire the sex knowledge becoming her age and condition, it is infinitely better that she procures it from a pure and helpful source than from a corrupt and corrupting source. Hence this little book, and this imprimatur's 1929. This old book, but I have never heard anybody talk about that very TMI subject. It's so reverent and easy, and doesn't make you feel uncomfortable at all. So definitely recommend this book. There might be a book for this on men. Can't recall, but if there isn't, a man should read this book as well. It's very helpful and easy to understand, and does not make you feel uncomfortable. So definitely recommend, but only if you're 18 or older. The last book here is called What a Single Girl Can Do for Christ. I just read this book last year, and this book in Promoter's 1955. Perfect book explaining what we can do as single women for Christ right now, as we are in our single era. So this booklet is about a sermon that Father Faherty gave to single Catholics at a ski lodge. It is discussion of why some young ladies remain unmarried even though they would prefer the married state. Father informal talk is frequently interrupted with questions from the audience. Parts of this booklet are humorous, adding to the enjoyment of what is a serious subject for young ladies. The booklet concludes, so the full life for the unmarried woman will combine spiritual helps and natural means. So the perfect book, again, for us as we are preparing for ourselves for marriage. So those are the top 4 books that I recommend for everyone to buy and to read to help us, prepare ourselves and to get ourselves mentally prepared as well. That's another way to do it, which is the next subject I'm going to be talking about, which is taking care of your body mentally, physically, and spiritually. Mentally, preparing ourselves mentally by knowing what it entails to be in a married relationship. Hence why I recommended these 4 books, which will be very helpful for everybody to read. So that's some ways to prepare ourselves mentally, along with, if you're struggling with stress or some kind of family situations, find someone like, spiritual director or someone you trust and talk to them. That's ways you can do it. Get ourselves physically, our body physically, which we all know. Eat healthy, exercise, and, make sure that our bodies, will be healthy so we can, live long, healthy lives. So it's pretty simple and basic and to the point there. And then the last one is spiritually, which we mentioned in the beginning, strengthen your relationship with God. So we can go and do that spiritually by going to Mass and adoration and such like that. Next one is manage your finances. This is a top one that a lot of people have a struggle with, but if we start now as single people, once we are in a married relationship, we should be able to, if you're both like-minded in how to manage your finances, that it started younger, then you'll be able to work together and won't be in debt. So figure out how much you make a month, and then budget out how much you pay for your bills, how much it'll be for the fun money, and how much for your savings as well. So you can figure all that out, and you can even get like budget booklets. I found some. I actually have one that I bought from Marshall's, so you can do that. And then if you are in some kind of debt, you can those booklets actually show you how to get out of the debt. You can even listen to Dave Ramsey's another good one too. He helps you if you are in extreme debt. But hopefully we are not, as single people, try not to be in that debt, because then, once you get into debt, you get yourself buried deeper and deeper and deeper, and you don't want that. So if you can find helpful books and videos of people how to get out of that debt or how to stay out of it in the first place. So that's another important one, is to manage your finances. Next one is pray every day for your spouse. I'll actually pop up the prayer that I use that a nun actually gave me. So I'll have that up there, and I'll also have links to, and actually will pop up to these helpful Pinterest guides too as well over here that I created on my Pinterest. So you can go follow me on my Pinterest. I actually created the books and then these actual tips that I'm sharing right now on the Pinterest as well. So you can go follow there. But anyways, pray every day for your spouse. That's one top thing that we should be doing, is to pray for our spouse. And this prayer that I particularly actually is praying for your spouse to protect him from harm, to prepare him basically for marriage in a way as well. So you can make up your own prayer or find a prayer. So that's another one. And last one, my last little tip of what I'm doing to prepare for marriage as a single woman, is I'm actually writing a journal for my future spouse. So I just found this on Instagram. It popped up for me. It's these 2 young girls. They were doing it, and I'm like, oh, that's actually a brilliant idea. So I just bought this notebook from, I think it was like TJ Maxx or Marshall's. So it says Faith, Hope, and Love, which I like that, and it comes with a pen already. I haven't started it yet, but I am going to be doing it today. But I love how it actually has like Bible quotes on the bottom here as well. Like the first one here on the first page says, love must be sincere, hate what is evil, cling to what is good. Romans. So with that, you can write letters to your future spouse. You can tell them about what your life is like right now, what you're hoping for your life to be, talk about your future children, and whatever else you just want to write, you write in here, so then when you end up marrying the man, you can give this booklet to him of like what you were actually praying for him and what you were thinking about him way before you guys even met and got married. So I think that was really beautiful. I also have a list too on Pinterest, I'll pop up here, of different ideas, of letter ideas. And if you have some other ones, comment that down below, some other ideas of letters to write to your future spouse. And if you're a man, you can do it for your future wife as well. So I hope these tips are helpful and you learned something and maybe will implement some of them or not. Comment down below, what are some ways that you are preparing for marriage as a single person in this world? I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and God bless, and don't forget that you got this.